What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another movie review. I'm Chase Lee, reviewing for DallasMovieScreenings.com, and the movie I want to take a look at right now is Uncut Gems. Now, this one comes from A24. It is directed by Josh and Benny Safdie. And this one tells the story of a jeweler named Howard, played by Adam Sandler, and he owns a jewelry shop, and he trades a lot of jewels at other places, pawns a lot of stuff, gets a lot of money. There's a lot of money being traded around because he places a lot of money on bets, and he tries to up his antes on his bets, and he tries to see if he can secure just one big win so he can get that big payday that he always wants. But the problem is he's not really good at it, and kind of he works his way through it because he's charming. But he tries so hard. It's just he doesn't quite get there because he's just not that good at it, and so he keeps failing and he keeps falling down. And this is a character that we have to follow for 2+ hours. And so we get to see his crazy antics and how he gets himself out of situations, or if he can't, how deep down the rabbit hole he will go. So that is your movie without spoiling anything. Going into this, I was looking forward to it immensely. I love Good Time, the previous Safdie brothers that they did with Robert Pattinson in 2017. I thought Heaven Knows What in 2015 was fine, but I got a sense of what their style was like, which was this kind of guerrilla film style, kind of panic-inducing anxiety, authenticity with, getting real people off the streets. There's something about their filmmaking that's visceral and just kind of in your face, and it's assault on the senses, but it's not anything that's intrusive or anything that is overbearing. I thought that was slightly the case in Heaven Knows What, but they're getting better at it. But that's their style, and I'm starting to really appreciate it. So, and of course, I love the trailer to this movie, so I was like, please give me. I'm ready for it. Adam Sandler in a good role after all these years. Like I'm so ready. Let's do this. I saw the movie. Oh, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. To start with the Safdies, they apply the same method that they've been applying to for the past several years, where they have this kind of gritty authenticity to their movies, where these characters are set in the city, like you can feel the grime, the sweat, the dust. It's just there's something really palpable and lived in with their movies, and it just adds this to this next level of authenticity that most movies don't have. Most movies feel fake. They feel like they're on a set, but with their movies, you feel like you're in this movie from the get-go, and you're in these situations and in this environment. You can feel the city breathe and be a character on its own, and they do that here, man. It's just seeing Howard, Adam Sandler, get into situation after situation after situation. We're following this guy, and he's going from place to place. It's exciting to watch. It's thrilling filmmaking. So not only do they have the authenticity of the locations and the people that they're dealing with in this the scenes, but it is enthralling filmmaking. The editing is just so barbaric, but it's so precise at the same time. The dialogue is vulgar, but it's striking and it's sharp at the same time. The performances are electric. They're loose. They're all over the place, but they're somehow reined in. It's like watching a bunch of caged animals get into terrible situations, and they're just all eating one another and fighting one another. It is chaos type of filmmaking, but it works. And I absolutely love the way they direct this thing with such ease, but such chaos at the same time. They're just that good at what they do. And they're not just everything is just loose and all over the place and there's no control. Like, there is control over this set, but there is a ferocity to it that is unmatched with any filmmaker that is working today. The Safdies have that style, and it's applied here. And you're sitting here the whole time, you just feel anxious, and you feel this this nervous, kind of unsettling pit in your stomach that's just screaming out for help. Like, please stop putting me through this torture. Because you're watching Howard go through all these different things. And so the Safdies are like, we're going to sit you down, put a vice grip on you, and we're going to force you to watch this guy keep falling down and see how far he can go and see how far his addiction can take him so he can get that next big win. And so on the surface, you think to yourself, like, why would I want to sit here and watch this? And the Safdies know that. Their filmmaking is very in your face. So if you have an unlikable character, it's kind of hard to get behind that. Here's the difference, though. The Safdies are smart. And so is Ronald... give me a couple seconds. I have it on my phone. And Ronald Bronstein, the other co-writer to this film. They are smart in the way that if this character was extremely unlikable and didn't really have anything going on, it would be hard for us to justify a viewing experience of 2 hours and 15 minutes watching this guy screw up. It could be labeled as a cautionary tale, but you still want to have some complexity to your character. So the genius here that the casting directors had was to cast Adam Sandler. Because Adam Sandler is a guy that in real life seems like a good guy to hang out with, a guy that you would want to have a drink with. So Howard is soft-spoken. He explodes when he explodes, but it's just more it's desperation anger. It's not really like anger. It's just more of like he's just desperate because he wants things to work out and things keep messing up. But this is a guy that is really not good at what he does. He's charismatic, so he gets people to believe him. And he keeps making these terrible, terrible mistakes with money. But there's something about him that is likable. And it's because it's Adam Sandler. If you cast anyone else in the role, it would not work. Speaking of other mobsters, Joe Pesci. I'm just saying him because The Irishman is coming out this year as well. But imagine if Joe Pesci did this role. And he was super aggressive the entire time and just, there was no nuance to his character. And it's just like, well, what was the point of that? With Adam Sandler, he is naturally soft-spoken in real life. He applies that to Howard in this movie. And so on some level, you feel bad for the guy. Even though he is doing some really illegal things and some really messed up things, deep down you still feel bad for him. And the Safdies are playing with your sympathy there. And that's what I find interesting about this film, and interesting about even with Good Time, is that these characters have layers to them. There's nuance to them. They're not just bad guys. There's stuff going on there. And it's a matter of performance and how Adam was able to translate that and make us feel bad for him. And the Safdies directing him to do that. So, yeah, it's a guy that's terrible at his job, and it's a guy that's messing up. But deep down, we feel bad for him. And so as we're sitting here and almost having like a heart attack watching this thing, at the same time, I just want this guy to get whatever he needs to get done and just be done with it. I want to help him. And that's really powerful for a movie like this. And I thought Adam Sandler did a fantastic job. So let's bleed into the performance here. Adam Sandler is definitely worthy of a nomination. Absolutely phenomenal. I already list all the reasons why. Julia Fox is in this as his lover. I thought she was really good. Kind of this person that doesn't really know what's going on and then just kind of, listening to whatever Howard says, and she's just along for the ride type of deal. Idina Menzel plays his wife. She's not really in it that much, and she's a little bit underused, but she has a few scenes that are definitely impactful enough to make me go, okay, that one was fine. The people that play his kids are really great because I think they're unknowns, and that's what I love about the Safdies is that they cast unknowns, they cast people that we don't even know, they cast people off the streets, and it just once again adds to the level of authenticity that you need for this film to make it work and make it feel like it's really real and what we're seeing is really happening. The Weeknd is in it. Kevin Garnett is in it, and he plays himself. He's actually really good. He has one scene that I found to be terrifying when he, is questioning Howard's kind of motives and skills on what he does. I thought it was really good. And then Lakeith Stanfield is also really good. He's kind of like Howard's person that brings in high profile people like Kevin Garnett, and he gets a cut of the deal or whatever. Lakeith is always great though. He is absolutely terrifying, and it's a guy you do not want to cross in a wrong way. But everyone, it just I think works. It's a weird cast for sure, but everyone works in their respective roles. And then the score. The score is amazing. It is unpredictable. It is ethereal. It is mesmerizing. It's like a diamond. You know, the opening shot of this movie, not to ruin it, but it shows let's just say the kind of alluring mystery of like a gem or like a diamond, and like the reason why people stare at it and are in just such awe and such wonderment. That's what the score felt like. You're in awe. Every time when a piece would come on, it would accompany the film because it was chaotic, and it was something unpredictable, just like the movie and its main character. But there was just something mesmerizing about it, and you were like in a trance when the score would come up, and it was unique, and it was just something I've never heard of this year, and it's just it stands out for sure. So the score is absolutely up there for me, guys. This is what I like about movies. This is my jam. I know this movie's not going to be for everyone. Definitely not going to be for everybody. But if you want to talk about a pulse-pounding thrill ride from start to finish, you know, it's unpredictable, it's exciting, you're nervous, you're sad, you're enjoying yourself, like a bunch of different emotions, and then when it gets done with, you're like, man, what a roller coaster ride. I think this movie will be for you. I'm going to give Uncut Gems an A. So what did you guys think of Uncut Gems? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Please let me know down below, and like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel to get up-to-dates on whenever I upload movie reviews. It's award season, so a lot of these are going to start to come out. So that will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.